द्रां द्रीं द्रों स शुक्राय नमः. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hello everyone, this is Vinay from Astrologic. As most of you know that the IPL series is going on right now, and most of you who message me asking for predicting winners in IPL matches, I usually oblige, and if I have done my studies that day, calculations, I definitely send out my predictions, and you might have seen the accuracy of my predictions, and sometimes you might have wondered how is this possible, right? So that's one of the reason I thought, let me make this short video and try to demonstrate as to how accurately you can do this kind of predictions using one of the best technique in astrology. My Guruji was kind enough to teach me this technique, thankful to him, but he also warned me of certain drawbacks with this. I believe when he was in Mumbai, he used to do these predictions himself and used to publish them, and was getting amazing results. Nearly 8 to 9 out of 10 matches he was able to predict the winners of the matches. Any cricket match, whether it is one day or IPL, any cricket match he was able to predict the winners accurately, and because of that he also got into trouble. It's a small story wherein the underworld dons started chasing him, threatening him, and they wanted him not to publish it, etc., etc., and he had to take police protection, where the police van used to be parked in front of his house overnight. And eventually he started giving false predictions so that people stopped chasing him, and then eventually he stopped predicting. So that's the story. However, today I'll give you an example of one of the match between RCB and Mumbai Indians, which happened on 28th October, few days back, where again I had predicted the match outcome accurately, and I would have sent messages to some of you, who would have definitely seen it, right? So these messages I send only on demand basis. Only people who request it, I send it to them. I wouldn't publish it on social media. There is a strong reason for that. I'll definitely cover that aspect also. So this was on 28th October, match between RCB and MI, and RCB batted first, and MI batted second, and Mumbai Indians won this match, right? So how do we do this, right? So let's go to the secret technique, right? So the winner prediction technique. So there is, the process is that we have to cast the chart basis the time of start of the first innings and the place where the match happens. So this match I believe happened in Abu Dhabi, and the match started at 6 p.m. local time. So you have to cast the chart for that particular time, and when you do that, you will have to check the connections between the first house, third house, and the fifth house. First house is known as the ascendant, third house is the house of courage, and the fifth house is the house of skill. And to some extent it also indicates whether there is gambling involved on or not in that particular match. So what I mean by gambling is nearly 30% of the matches are more usually fixed, right, or manipulated. So that's one of the reason why, one of the key reason, why I wouldn't give these predictions openly, because unfortunately in IPL matches, this fixing, we all know that unfortunately that for past many years that this fixing issue is one of the key issue which is bothering the sports. um, right? So that's one of the key reason I don't give it, because some of the people who want to get these predictions, I know that they also would gamble, they also would bet on certain teams, right? So I would strongly discourage that. uh, Please don't gamble, please don't do the betting on winning. Okay, so that's the primary reason. I don't have a lot of interest in IPL or cricket, but just for academic purpose, I'm doing this. And when it comes to IPL, sometimes watch the matches to cheer RCB. Otherwise, I watch the match only to check how my prediction is going. So having said that, let's come back to the prediction. So first house, third house, and fifth house connection. So when this match started, RCB batted first, and the planetary positions were never favorable to them. You can see that the Lord of the Ascendant, the Aries, if you look at my cursor here, Aries ascendant, and the Lord of that house is sitting in the 12th house. 12th house is a house of loss, LOSS, loss. So that is the first indication that it's going to be difficult. Then we have to compare that with the Dashama chart. Dashama chart is basically the chart which talks about the work area, the job that the people do. So we'll have to compare that. That it is basically in the Kundli chart. When you zoom the 10th house, this is what we get, the 10th, the Dashama chart. So the Dashama chart also, we don't see any positive indications. For example, the Lord of the Virgo ascendant, Mercury, right, is sitting in the ninth house, and the Lord of the ninth house, Venus, is sitting in the 12th house, which is again a house of loss. So like that, we have to interpret, right? There are many things. And then we also look at the third house. The third house Lord Mars is again sitting here in the Saturn's house. And also we see how strong the Mars is that day, and the effect of Mars. Don't want to get into too much of details, because some of the astrologers who may be watching this, if they get hold of it, then they might try to misuse it. So I will stop here in terms of explanation. In summary, for RCB, so that particular day when the match started, right, so there was nothing that was supporting him, or that was in favor of them. So this is the key, this is the trick. The key point is that we should know the place of the match, and the time of start, right? So many people wouldn't know that itself, or wouldn't know that we need to consider that while doing the predictions, right? So now moving on to the second innings, MI. So here you can see a lot of green circles. So what happened? So within a span of 2 hours, close to 2 hours, things completely changed. And MI, who was batting second, had a lot of favorable aspects when we cast the chart for the start time, which is 17:52. Right, so plus or minus 3 to 5 minutes is fine for the Lagna Kundli, but this Dashama chart is very sensitive. Even 1 minute here and there, things change here in Dashama chart. So here what's happening is the Taurus ascendant, and the Taurus ascendant, which is Venus, is the Lord. Venus is the Lord, who is sitting in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth house. And the positive aspect is that the third house Lord, 1, 2, 3, the third house Lord, Moon, is sitting in the 11th house. 11th house is the house of gain. So definitely MI has an upper hand when compared to RCB. And when you also look at the Dashama chart, so what's happening here is um, the Cancer ascendant, right? So here the Lord of the ascendant is sitting, Moon is again sitting in the 11th house. So this is a bonus point. And again, Moon is sitting in the third house, um, right? So like that, we look at this. And also if you look at the third house Lord, who is Mercury, is also again sitting in the uh, 11th house. So we'll have to connect the dots like this, and also look at you know which house Jupiter is viewing, which house, what is the conjunction of Rahu and Ketu, with whom they are, right? So looking at all of that, and also the strength of the planet, you can definitely make out to a certain extent, and you can predict to a certain degree of accuracy that this is the team which is going to win. If not 100%, 80% of the times this works and this happens, right? The only time when this doesn't happen, as I mentioned, when there is a huge gambling involved or the matches are manipulated, right? So there are certain matches which you might have noticed, definitely you can make out that those matches are fixed or manipulated, right? So whenever that happens, then these calculations don't work. If the match happens, if the game happens naturally, then definitely you can predict who is going to win the match. So usually what I do is, during the first innings itself, I cast the chart for both the teams. I cast the chart for both the times, the start time of first innings and the start time of second innings. And then once the toss is over, I know who is batting first, or who is batting first and who is batting second. So basis that, I make my predictions. And again, for academic purpose, right? So I don't publish it, and I don't give it to send it to everyone. Only those people who ask for it, I share it with them. And I also strongly urge them not to gamble with it. you know if they want to just check how it works, they are welcome to do so, right? I hope that this video was interesting. So again, demonstrating the power of astrology, even in sports. So as I mentioned, though I am not giving these winner predictions, for the last 22 days I have been posting the key players predictions, every day, every IPL match, using numerology, which also works 70 to 80% of the times. Please go see it, watch it. And if you really want to also know the match winning predictions, you can contact me or you can message me personally. And as far as possible, if I have done my calculations that day, I'll definitely share those details with you. Right, so get in touch with us for if you really want to analyze your horoscope, and if you want to get any remedies from astrology point of view. If something is bothering you, definitely we can check your horoscope and we can support you from a astrology point of view. So thanks for watching this video. So I'll just take a minute to address the Kannada followers in Kannada. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ನೀವು ಏನು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಅದು ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಇದೆ, ಖಂಡಿತ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಥವಾ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ನಾನು ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಖಂಡಿತ ನಿಮಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದರೆ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ ಫಾರ್ ವಾಚಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋ. ಸರ್ವೇ ಜನ ಸುಖಿನೋ ಭವಂತು.